Tiddly, you want to say the thing?
Hello, guys, and welcome to Marathon Digest.
Hey, everybody, welcome in. This is Destiny Digest number 129. I will be your host, Dan Finity, and with us tonight on the panel, we have Epic Dan. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. We have Tiddly. What's going on?
Hello.
Welcome back in from the cold.
I know, it's been a minute. Hello.
It's been a minute. And Sammy, welcome.
Hi. Hi, guys.
Welcome in. Glad to have you guys. Before we get into the conversation of the night, which I think there's going to be a lot of marathon on the way, hence why we're in that directory, we will go through some housekeeping here. You can join us every Sunday night around 3:30 p.m. Pacific time and 6:30 p.m. Eastern time on twitch.tv/Destiny Digest. You can ask questions live in chat and help us shape the conversation. Episodes go live the next day on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Pocket Casts, or wherever you get your podcasts that you listen through your ear holes. You can help others find the show by rating and reviewing on your podcast platform of choice. Anything you say helps us in the algorithm. All right. So before we get into the nitty gritty of tonight's Server Slam focus, what all you guys been doing? What all you guys been playing? You guys doing well?
Just been slamming, man.
Just been slamming.
Slamming.
Dick. What?
Slammed a little bit.
Say what? What did you say?
I slammed a little
You
bit.
slammed a little bit. You've been slamming a little bit here and there.
Here and there.
Tiddly, I think you probably have the most variety out of all of us.
I
today.
wrote so many games down.
You played so many games.
I played so many games. Okay, so to be fair, so I was gone. I took a vacation last week, so I was gone. So one of the games I played the week before I left, but it was in between since I've seen you last. So
Right.
because they were doing Twitch global badge promotion in the Peak directory, and I'd never played it before. So I hopped in there and played
Oh,
it. And it was
yeah.
really fun. I don't know if you guys have played it ever. It came
I
out a
love
while
Peak.
ago. I just
Yeah.
had never
I'm
played
so
it
bad
before.
at it.
I've never played
I'm
Peak.
so bad at it too, but it was really, really fun. So I played that. That was great. I'm pretty much wrapped up on the Woolhaven Cult DLC. So I played that a little bit, but my cult is kind of at peak. I don't think there's like much more I can do with it, so I'm kind of wrapping that up. I did my Rivals placements this week too for the new season. So that's been really fun. I'm really enjoying Rivals right now. Even though placements are weird, like I had 2 games where I was solo heal and then we won anyway. I'm like, what is this weird situation in Rivals? And then we played Fortnite today and got some wins. That was really fun. Oh, and I also did I did Backrooms, which I don't
Yeah.
play horror games.
Okay.
But this was because of a fundraiser that we did and we had a goal. And so my friends were like, oh, well, let's play Backrooms together. And it was awful and I hated it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So why do you dislike horror games? Do you not like getting jump scared or anything like that?
No, it's more so I have a very vivid imagination. And so I tend to get nightmares.
Yeah.
So I don't watch horror movies. I don't play horror games. I do get jump scared pretty easily too, but it's not necessarily like that. I just don't get good adrenaline from it. I just get like nightmares. So I tend to stay away from them. So
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's smart.
and then I slammed. So I did a lot of stuff this
Then you
week.
slammed.
Yeah. I slammed.
Have I died in Cult of the Lamb yet?
Have you died? Most
I died?
certainly you have. Yes.
Okay. Well, it was a good run
That's
while
like
it lasted.
If I could make any like recommendation for cult for people who stream, well maybe for like the devs, there'd be some it'd be great to have some kind of like mass revive for people who are there, because the biggest problem with cult is that you can't keep like the Twitch viewers alive. Like
Right.
they die so quickly. And there are like necklaces and stuff to make people live longer or even be immortal, but they're very hard to get. And so like as a streamer, it was just like, am I still alive? I'm like, no.
No, you're dead.
Basically, no. Everyone's dead. It's okay.
You don't have to come back and check in.
No, it's all right.
Let that be a lesson to all of yous.
Yeah.
Samikat, what have you been up to, bud? What have you been playing?
I played some marathon. I've been really excited in general about Pokemon.
Okay.
They just had Pokemon Presents and announced the next generation coming, the next core series game coming next year. And so I've mostly been eating cupcakes and partying with that. And then I've been in Destiny, actually, mostly just doing fashion.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to make some shorts that show off, not shorts like apparel shorts, like short form video
Right.
of my fashion and post it. But I don't really know what I'm doing yet with that.
So I'm looking.
So more creative things and celebratory rather than plain.
I'm gonna drop this in the chat. This article from Polygon that have the Gen 10 starters. Which of these would you actually pick up?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. This is the first generation where I legitimately would have a reason to get any of them.
Yeah.
And some of the memes that are already going around are just so funny. I think that this is the best combination of first gen
Okay.
or of starter Pokemon
That's
out of all gens.
that's a big that's that's a big statement to make. I'm a Cyndaquil guy myself. Always loved Cyndaquil. Personally.
Go.
For having all three, I'm
Oh yeah.
not seeing a favorite. Usually for each one, there's like one or two
Oh, yeah, yeah.
favorites. People don't like all of them, but there are people where it's like, I'm this team, I'm this team. And they're almost fighting over it. Yeah.
Sprout does kind of look a little bit like my neighbor. If I'm being
Really?
Is that a
honest.
positive or a negative thing?
It depends on if you're my neighbor.
Is your neighbor watching right now?
No. No.
Okay.
They don't know what I'm doing. Do ya? Anyways.
That was very aggressive.
Yeah, sorry. Sounds like
now
a good week.
Now they do. Now they know what you're doing.
Epic Dan, they still don't know. The curtains are drawn. They have no idea. Epic Dan, what are you up to? What have you been up to?
I've literally just done nothing but marathon.
Yeah.
You know, after the service slam is gone,
Mm-hmm.
take a few days and play through. It's funny that Tilly mentioned horror games, but I'm playing through Resident Evil 9.
Oh yeah,
So-
that just came out. I've heard really good things. Not for me, but I've heard like
I
really,
planned
really
on
good
playing
things
it
about
at launch, and once they announced the service slam, I was like, well, I'll play it after service slam is gone. Heard nothing but good things about it, so I'm excited. It's just fun and
Yeah. I've been playing a lot of marathon this week. I tried this game. So there was this trailer for a game called Void/Breaker. Have any of you guys tried this or seen this yet?
oh,
Okay. It's like a Ghostwire like. So it's a roguelite first person shooter where you just like run as fast as possible and try to take out enemies as they appear. It is
fun.
Man, like I loved the vibes around all of it, but I played it on PlayStation and there was a major bug. Every time you go into a new area, it tries to save. And then anytime it saved, it was like, I cannot complete this operation. Like it would just flash a screen up in the middle saying, I cannot complete this operation. And then your character would go forward like 100 feet. So it was not a great time. It looks like a cool game. I don't know if it's for me after trying that demo, but I'm wondering what it's like on PC. I'm sure it's going to be a little bit better. But let's from there. We've all played marathon this week. Let's get into the marathon of it all.
Yeah,
What
that's good.
what are everybody's like first impressions? Like before we start there, how many hours has everybody played so far?
Oof.
About 4 or 5.
4 or 5. I'm about 4 or 5, like 5 or 6.
yeah.
probably this week.
Might be the only one that's gotten a chunk in. I think I'm at 28.
Oh
I
my
think
God.
28 hours.
Ooh.
And
I
what
can
level?
check in Steam, right? Yeah.
What level does that put you at?
Well, it's not 1-to-1. I think I ended 22, 24,
Okay.
somewhere around there.
Yeah. I think I'm level 10 with 6 hours in.
It's not bad. I mean, you can spend time if you go through some runs and you get either insta wiped or
Yeah.
you don't do as much. I don't want to say waste, but this is not the kind of game that your hours will, at least for the service room, your hours will not be 1-to-1 to your
Mhm.
level.
Yeah, for the levels. You're talking about like the game levels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Tiddly, what about you? Where
I'm kind of in the middle. I'm close. I mean, I think I've done maybe 7 or 8 hours. I've done 2 streams.
Okay.
2
Cool.
streams. Hopping back in tomorrow.
Cool.
So,
Rad.
yeah.
Where
They go off at noon, so you got a couple hours if you're
Mhm.
trying to play in
Oh,
the
they're going
morning.
off at noon
Yeah.
tomorrow. Okay. Well,
Yep.
I'll be hopping in early and getting a little time in.
So like what shells did everybody run? Because I believe all of them are available except for the thief currently. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So what
They're
were you
not all
running?
available at the start, though. You have to play a couple levels and they
Mhm.
unlock.
Yeah.
Glitch.
Which glitch? Okay.
Mhm.
Vandal, I think.
Yeah, the names. One thing I know is the names are not the same anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they don't call them glitch; they just call them vandal now. Like Blackbird
Oh
is just
yeah,
called
they
recon.
renamed the
Mhm.
shells. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy. I've been playing a lot of triage. I really like triage. Like
Yeah.
I feel like it's very, very helpful having like a recon and a triage on a team.
Yeah.
And then the other one is like six of one, half a dozen, but like, you know, having like the heal and having like the ping is so good.
Yeah.
So I think it's really fun. I love playing support anyway. So I thought like, well, let's just play this shell. Cause I played the stealth void one on the alpha, and that was really fun. I thought I'd try something different this time. So
Okay. I was
yeah, the assassin is really fun too. But I was like, I want to try something different this time.
right. I did what was it? I did recon for most of my time played.
Yeah, Recon's great.
Really enjoying that, especially like the ability to ping to see like how many enemies are in the area, and then and then the crab trip mine or the crab mine thing. That was a cool thing. I did try triage a little bit. I think I didn't get the hang of it until the end of the session where I was when I was playing that one. But that had some good versatility, like you said. Like I can see recon and triage being like the 1-to-1.
Yeah, they're just helpful to have in a team for sure. Although I have to say, sometimes the recon ability, the ping ability, we were on a map and we did the ping and it was like, there were so many pings. We're like, we are just so epically screwed. This is like the most unhelpful ping ever because it's like, there's like 3 teams, 15 bots. We're like, oh, we're just dead. Like we're just
Right.
in the middle of everything. We're like, well, this is not going well. That was really funny though. I mean, I feel like that was pretty uncommon. I know that there was some dev conversation about kind of like player density on maps and adjusting that and what that felt like kind of like on like perimeter versus dire march, which didn't unlock until a little bit later, and how people were feeling like they weren't quite getting enough engagements. But I mean, I guess I understand why they wanted to kind of like ease people into the experience, you know, and certainly like the PvP aspect of it is the most like exciting, challenging part, I think. But you know, yeah.
Epic Dan, what about you? What have you been playing in your 20 some odd hours?
I wanted to make sure I played classes. Well, I guess the class that we didn't have from last year because I hadn't played since April. Not closed NDA night. That one we all could play a year ago. So I'd already spent a bunch of time in recon and in the assassin, destroyer. So I spent most of
Mhm.
my time on triage. I would probably say like 15 hours on triage, and I still don't like assassin personally. I think
Okay.
that's going to be the outlier because of invisibility makes combat incredibly frustrating, and it's so strong that most people are going to probably be at a disadvantage if they come across a team of 1 or 2. If you are going in there and you're fighting 3 invis players, good luck.
Yeah.
Like that, I can see that being an outlier, especially with the thermoscope snipers. One of the stronger classes
Oh.
that people are running are invis with
Yep.
either the thermoscope snipers or the double barrel shotgun,
Mm.
and that's pretty rough to deal with in this style of very, very quick TTK where you
Oh, that's
almost can't
true.
react.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
for
That's
example, we were fighting a team, and not even really fighting a team. The fight started where I was in a building and I was looting. I walk up a set of stairs and then I turn around and all of a sudden there's a guy crouched in a corner that shoots me. So like on my screen, I turn around, there's nothing there, and all of a sudden as he shoots, he comes out of invis.
Oh.
So I was already,
so you didn't even know he was
I
there.
didn't
Like
even
you had
know he
no
was there
clue.
because he
Yeah.
was already invis. That invis
Yeah.
lasts pretty long. He shot me, and the moment he shoots you, which I did invis as well, so I noticed this. The moment you shoot, the moment the bullet is done, moment the animation is done, they instantly start going back into invis. So the one
Really?
double barrel shot knocked me, and then he was instantly back invis, which is really cool from a invis standpoint. He was like invis, pew, invis, which made it very difficult for my team to come res me.
So does that only happen if you get a knock? The knock makes you invis instantly? Like why was he
Well,
instant
there's
invis?
yes and no. There are some mods that affect it.
Okay.
There's some like weapon mods that affect it, but there's also just the moment you stop shooting, the going invisible timer instantly starts. So that's why it's for single fire weapons, it can be very, very threatening, just like a sniper, a shotgun, since you're really doing a single action instead of like a full auto weapon. That timer or that animation or that action of you going into invisibility instantly starts the moment the bullet is released from the gun. That I can see people are going to be really frustrated with. Just like in Destiny, everyone complains about PvP with invis. That same thing I can already see is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Going back to triage, I think triage is really, really cool. One thing I've noticed is that people probably don't know how to play triage yet. Like, if you play as a support class, you have to always be playing support. Because especially with the little robot, the smelly robot, you have the ability to give yourself and your 2 friends the little robot at all times.
At all times, yeah.
So
and then refresh it too if it gets low. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really
So
strong.
that
Yeah.
has a
But you have to
little
keep
bit of
doing it.
a learning curve. But I
Yeah,
do think, like Tiddly said, once players understand that, you're gonna probably always see a triage at
I
all
think so.
times.
It's really strong. And then the revive is so fun. Just like the
I wonder if they're gonna
then
lower how far away you can res, because I was able to res players from pretty far distances at times.
crazy.
I don't know if it's hit scan or something, but
I didn't know that. I was actually
there
usually
was
really
a few
close.
times where I was like, go hide in this corner, and I got to an angle where I could just see them, and it still res them. So now, granted, it probably wasn't good because a few times I res them, they got right back down because I was in cover, but they weren't.
Right. You're resing them right on the open to get farmed. Yeah. Yeah.
But
You have to push the res. Push the res, Dan.
Yeah.
Push the res. What are you doing? Come on. You should know better.
No, I couldn't because there was an invis sniper.
Yeah,
that was
it seems
knocking
like
us.
sniper is absolutely meta. That's what I know that Lulu was having fun with that, and even my husband hopped in and had a good time with the sniper rifle too. But But the TTK,
Sniper's
like
really
that
good.
comment is so interesting because that's also kind of like some of the feedback I've been hearing from people that I've been chatting to
I don't want them to
about.
change the TTK. I don't know.
You
how
don't want
feel
them
about
to?
that. No.
No, you feel like the TTK is good. Like, do you feel like
While the
there needs?
TTK is very fast, I
Yeah,
do
it
think
is.
the upside to that is that it will allow for it allows for a player to recover or clutch 1v3s, as people like to say,
Uh-huh.
a lot easier. It forces you to be a lot more aware of your surroundings, which I
Sure.
do like.
Sure. Yeah.
But there are things that they need to fix. Like
Yeah.
the TTK will never be okay as long as there's invis, as strong as it is.
So you're saying it's more of a balancing with some of the other
Yeah.
things versus the TTK. The TTK is okay. I feel like you're right. I think that having a low TTK does allow for more kind of like hero moments where you can team
Yes.
wipe versus, other games that have a higher TTK. They might be more like flexible or forgiving
Or
for newer players.
you come
but they-
back, come back, not come back. Like say
yeah.
I shot you first, but the TTK is so high that if you have good aim, you can still wipe me and my team.
Right. So yeah, exactly. So if you get the jump on somebody, if they have bad positioning, if they're looting out
Yes.
cover, like if they're making bad choices, then even if they're a superior shot to you, if you're like playing intelligently, that you can still get the jump on them because of the low TTK and wipe a team. Yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah.
What I've been enjoying about it, like the PvP moments are hectic and a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The PvE enemies are tanky in a lot of regards.
They're a bit
They
too smart for
are.
me. I need some dumb AI there.
They're great.
That is definitely I think something that should be looked at in terms of tuning. Like I've always felt like I was running out of ammo and that I didn't have enough bullets to kill the tanky like ads. It wasn't even the PvP part of it. It was the PvE. It's like you just don't have enough bullets because they're just freaking like 80 million health or some. They're just really they take so much ammo to kill, and then you're out of ammo.
I have not experienced the ammo situation that
really
a lot of people are complaining about.
I always felt like I was out of ammo. I really did, and I would bring in like
it's
many.
The heals.
Never had ammo.
It's heals for me.
Yeah.
I think the heals is a bigger issue for me personally from my time.
That was only an issue in one game, but then like I was running triage, so like I feel like that's not less of an issue if you run triage. But yeah, the ammo for us was like the biggest issue.
Because I would fight robots, mechs or clankers, whatever you want to call it. I would fight the UESC, and because of how strong, how intelligent they are, I would actually have to heal with them. And it got my team wiped a few times because we would fight NPCs. We'd have to, take them all out and then heal. And then we get not really third party, but then because of all the combat, the team, like you
were weaker
actual team hurt us.
Yeah.
And then a few times I got knocked and wiped because we had just finished fighting NPCs and we were healing. Or we had just actually had to use a bunch of heals and shields. And then we get to a fight with another team. I got one white heal left or something. Just because I haven't found any, I didn't bring a lot in. And I found that to be a bigger issue. Maybe because you don't find, people say, there's not a lot of shields and health map.
So the shields were kind of an interesting issue for me because I didn't play quite as much, but like I never felt like I was going in with a shield. And like apparently you can get a shield with the solo play shell
with Rook,
right?
With Rook you
get a shield, but like otherwise I think you can barter for a shield from one of the vendors, but other than that, like you have to find them. So I just
the bartering
really felt
system is a bit high though. I don't know if you noticed.
I don't know. I just felt like I would like to have a shield be not even like a good shield, but like a basic shield be more accessible. Like it didn't feel like common loot, and it also didn't feel like it was something that I could get out of game either. Like maybe I needed to level more because I think there were other like vendors I could unlock there.
The vendors have all of the shields, and you can either barter or buy them. You can buy the whites and the greens. But the problem with the shields is that they are so expensive.
Right,
And I don't know
right.
if they're gonna rebalance the cost of a lot of stuff. But the cost of a lot of stuff, 'cause I unlocked all of the vendors. I unlocked a fair amount of their vendor options.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much everything you need to go into a run to be somewhat fully kitted, you can buy.
You can buy it, yeah.
Yeah.
But the problem right
but a
now
base,
is you
yeah,
don't have a
no.
lot of money to buy
Right,
that. Like
right.
in order to like buy a full set of like whites, like base level stuff, it costs like, including ammo, like 3,000 credits, which isn't a lot once you have a lot of hours in.
Sure. But to get
But when you're
there,
early, it's like, man, I
yeah,
might as
when
well
you're early, you're
just
really
take 3 cakes.
disadvantaged. Like at
Mhm.
least for shields, you're disadvantaged. I felt like
Yeah.
because I was going in without them a lot, so and I it didn't feel like too bad, like in terms of balance, like being kind of like a newer player, but then everyone was a new player. So
Yeah.
I think that's a concern with extraction shooters just generally, and why they do resets is at a
Yep.
certain point when you have people who are really far along in progression, they've just unlocked so many advantageous things that it, like you can't
Right.
pop in new because it just is so you're so disadvantaged when you do that.
Yeah.
So
Everybody would keep a shiny vault. and,
yeah,
and eviscerate everything in their path.
yeah.
I liked the difficulty of the enemies. I'm playing on console. So
How is console with crossplay
Oh
affecting
yeah,
you?
You know
That's
what?
what I'm curious about.
I
that's a
don't.
good question.
So, you guys know me. I'm not regularly a PvP player. I have gone in and I did fix some settings on my controller, like some sensitivity stuff, just to be able to look around a little bit easier. But I feel honestly like I was holding my own with my friends who were playing on PC. Two
Yeah.
of the sessions I played myself and just one other person. So we were going in as a
With
2.
Phil?
No Phil. We
No
just
Phil.
we went no
Interesting.
Phil. We went no Phil. It was just me and a buddy, no Phil. We would jump in. Like it was a crapshoot. You extracted or you didn't. But I feel like that's kind of like the course of this thing. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I don't really play a lot of extraction shooters. I didn't really get into Arc as heavily as other people. I think I played only like a couple of hours of that, and I was like, okay, like
You're like, this is not for me.
That's
yeah,
right.
it didn't really grab me. But yeah, like I only did that with 2 people up until today. Today I played a couple of hours with my friends Punky and Lore, and that was the first time that is like we were fully filled out and just running through. I didn't feel like I was at a disadvantage, but then again, I also I'm very interested in how the menus work between all of the platforms.
I can't
For
imagine.
for me, it was like if I absolutely didn't have to get into my menu, I wouldn't. And like
was it really like
Interesting.
laggy to
Not
get into your
laggy.
menus? Kind of like
not laggy, it was just
slow?
like because you're using your cursor, you're using your thumbstick.
There's so much
through
on the
cursor.
Oh.
screen.
Like
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
going it's the Destiny pull thing that happens
Sure,
with the
yeah.
cursor there. So like if I didn't have to, I didn't. And I wasn't really moving things out of that inventory on into other places or dropping often
Right.
for stuff. I was just grabbing everything that I could get in my pack in the hopes of extracting with everything that I got. The fights that we got into, I really like how like it raises your hackles when you're about to get into a fight with a bunch of people.
You're like, is it a
Yeah.
is it a player? Is it a player?
Yeah. Like when we're going into Dire Marsh, I forget what it's called, but it has like this slanted roof with a hole
Yeah.
in it.
Mhm.
And it was like, guys, I think I heard a player down there. Like there's for sure a player underneath us. And somebody's like, yep, I think they like Punky said, I think they heard us too. So they know that we're up here. So we got to start getting going. And so it was just like the chuffing up to like get up and running. And then I tossed my crab in there as the first set of
Yeah.
events, and then like we just went. And so we got in there, we took out everybody that was in that room, and then the adrenaline rushed off. And like
hmm
I like those moments of it. I'd probably like other extraction shooters, like just because of that kind of like that moment to moment thrill.
Yeah, that's
Lore
pretty fun.
pointed out something earlier today that seemed like it was that it. I think that's what speaks to me about this is that she said that it feels like a roguelite. Like no matter what you're doing, you're still advancing to some thing
Yeah,
that you're.
for sure. There's a
Yeah.
progression aspect to
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So it doesn't feel like it's, there is sort of the gear fear. You go in, you're like, oh
Yeah.
my God, am I going to lose all this good stuff I'm bringing in? But you do, even if you don't, and this is the same thing that happened in the alpha, right? Even if you don't
Yeah.
extract with your gear and you die, like you still make quest progression, you still like make level progression, you still
Mhm.
come out, and you don't feel quite so bad. I have a question? Did you feel like the UI was really busy? I mean, I know that we're all kind of coming from a Destiny background, which
Yeah.
has like kind of a very like, especially the new Destiny UI, which we
So-
talked about in depth. Like, how did you feel about the marathon UI? I guess is my question.
I don't.
I didn't like it at all.
You didn't like
Yeah.
it?
I hate it.
I know a lot of people like so what I've been doing to research for this episode was to like
Oh.
I wanted to watch a lot of creators that I normally wouldn't, and a lot of extraction players are posting a lot of reels
Sure.
right now about Marathon.
Yeah.
Um there's something to me about like when you're learning a new game, learning all the different nooks and crannies of the thing, I don't feel like it's too bad. But then again, I'm also not actively going into menus while I'm in a raid. Like I am I'm
Sure.
trying to
Sure.
avoid that as much as possible because I'm on controller. Once I'm out and you're in that interstitial period, there is some hang up as to where exactly you need to go in order to turn some things in. Like
Yeah,
you
I
get
agree.
cosmetics for the codex,
Right. Like the armory is a little bit hidden. Like some of
Yeah.
the things are kind of like harder to access. They're
It's a little
maybe
tucked
maybe it's
away.
just not intuitive. Like it's not necessarily an
Mhm.
intuitive like UI when you're in the interstitial place. I don't know that word. That's a great word though.
I think it grows on you for sure. Like as you're playing it, but like Bana sent us some notes cuz he also has like 20 hours of gameplay. He said at first I thought the UI was like fine aged dog water and it quickly grew on me after muscle memories kicked in. I think that the UI is much cleaner, simpler, and more well designed than Destiny. I have a bunch of IRL
Interesting.
friends who simply couldn't get into the game because of the feel of the UI in the HUD. However, it's hard to say to someone, dude, just stick with it.
That's fair. That's
When we
fair.
talk about
Mhm.
the UI, because I've seen this a lot. But I only partially like 70-30 agree. When people talk about they don't like the UI, are they talking about the menus only or the actual game's UI?
So in the shorts that I was watching, there were some people who were like, everything's too bright. I have no idea what I'm looking at. So that was one criticism of the art design that I saw that like wouldn't make some sense if maybe you had some like sensory issues.
Sure.
Yeah.
The the other thing is just like this one dude was just like, dude, these these menus are dog shit. just talking shit the entire time, like in the video. And I was
I only say 'cause I
Very
personally had no
constructive
issues
feedback.
with
Yeah.
it. Like the game's actual UI, I think is very clean when you're actually
Yeah,
in
the
game.
UI. Yeah, I
When
think
you're
when I'm
in the
talking
actual game,
UI,
it's fine.
I'm
The
thinking menus more so.
I'm not crazy about, but
Yeah.
also like outside of a couple of issues I have with it, I think the actual menu itself is pretty good.
Yeah.
I do think the issues for me personally are some of the menus are unnecessary. Like Tiddly was saying a little while ago, like some things are hidden
Mhm.
Right.
in like
right.
subcategories when they probably
Yeah.
don't really
They don't
to
need
be.
to be. Yeah,
Right.
it needs. It could be more front and center. Like
Yes.
like there's there's certain things that you want to access when you're done with the run, and like I feel like those could kind of like be pulled forward, and some of the other stuff can kind of be pushed back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
My bigger issue is when you look at your UI on your actual menu. I would argue a more important issue is how all of your gear are not distinct. Look at like your gear. Once you start earning a decent amount of gear, if you want to manage it, you have to hover over each item to read the description, because you'll have one component like a scope, and that scope can be one of like 12 different things. And you have to hover over it to see, okay, which one is this? Okay, I wanted to keep the red scope. I wanted to keep the thermal scope, you know? And some of the component mods, it'll be the same mod. Like the only time I struggled was I was trying to find one of the mods I had just extracted with.
Right.
Yeah.
And I went into my vault or my loot box, whatever, and I had three rows of that same mod. And I had to basically hover over each one until I found one I wanted to like actually put on my weapon. Little things like that I do think cause issues.
Right.
Sure,
Maybe
sure.
just early, you know, because we're keeping everything just to try. But that's going to be an issue for a player that's trying to get into it.
Right.
It will cause an issue of like, I'm spending a lot of time managing my loadout.
Right. I want to get back into the game, and all I'm doing is messing around with my inventory.
Now, granted, some of the Tarkov players I've talked to and the Hunt players I've talked to have said the amount of micromanaging they're having to do in Marathon in comparison to their more seasoned game, they get into a raid significantly fast. They feel like they get into a raid significantly faster, and there's a lot less of that. So maybe it's just a
in Marathon
genre style thing. They feel like they get into their next raid faster in Marathon
Sure.
than Tarkov and Hunt, where they have to spend a lot of time micromanaging things
before they
post
hop
raid
in.
before they hop into the next raid.
Interesting.
And they're saying that they're getting into another raid a lot quicker. And some of the complaints that we're having as far as UI, menu, things like that aren't great, but in comparison to their game, are significantly more straightforward.
better. And I mean, I also feel like Bungie typically pays a lot of attention to player feedback, and these sound like quality of life improvements. There's something that can be adjusted. Right, exactly. Yeah. It's like none of these things are unfixable. I think at base, I think the more important consideration is like, are people having fun? Are people going to pick it up? Are people going to buy it? Like, how's this week going to go? You know. But I know that like the UI or the menus were something that people were talking about as like they were complex. But
it's also going to be really difficult for players to get accustomed and used to, especially I don't want to mention Archgraves too much, but it's hard to not.
Yeah.
It's hard to not compare.
It's hard not to compare because you're going to have players that are comparing it. It's going to be very difficult for anyone that's played that extraction shooter specifically, playing Marathon, to get used to the Lego Tetris system of gear.
Yes.
That's going to be a big tough one.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but like,
it's
when
the
you
first
come
Lego
from
Tetris
like just putting
I've
something
played.
in,
Yeah.
it's I've played a little bit of other, and I'm not a fan of it, but like, it makes managing loot more difficult because if I got a backpack and it's a big backpack, it takes up a lot of space.
Right. You're like, oh, do I want to get this gun, or I want to get like 7 tiny items? Like it's a trade-off.
I kept having the issue where like I would be in the middle of a raid and I would see something good. I'm like, oh, and then I'd have to count how many spots I have to get rid of stuff in order for it to fit.
You're doing math in your head.
Yep.
Yeah.
These are all issues that I think are just early game issues, but like I think the early game issues are going to be the tell for whether or not a player wants to stick with it or not.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Before we get too far down the rabbit hole, Sammy, what have your experiences been like? What are you enjoying? What are you not enjoying about Marathon?
I think I haven't played enough to have a real opinion on it. Well, okay, no. I have a real opinion. It's valid. I don't think that I have played enough to really flesh it out. I think I want to play more.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how much of that is I want to play more because everyone else is.
Right.
And because I'm a marathon creator. I mean, I'll be completely honest.
Yeah, I think
if
we
I'm
all
trying
are,
to
right?
represent the game, then I feel like I should be playing the game. I think it's a trade-off, just logistically.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like the UI. I have a very difficult time with their mix of typefaces. I'll be real.
Mm-hmm.
The actual design of it, I am struggling. There's also a lot of layers to it, and I'm having a hard time as a new player grasping everything. I'll go in and I'm like, okay, wait, what does this do again? What did I just bind to my mouse?
Mm-hmm.
And I played with the same shell the whole time, but it got to the point where it's like I just kept dying too much to anything.
Right.
To where I just readied up and waited for someone to launch. I didn't even go to my vault and put anything on me because I was going to lose it anyways. And I realized that's part of the extraction shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But I just lost patience for it so fast.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't a lot of ammo. Ammo economy is terrible. I spent a lot more time looking for things and picking up things I didn't need that I would just lose because I didn't have things that I needed to survive and get to the extraction point. And I realized that these are new player issues, but I don't know if I have the patience to get past the new player issues. So I like the game overall. I think that if I were better, I would enjoy it more. But, and I know that's a personal issue and a skill issue, but I don't know if the game has enough to make me want to actually play it more to get better and digest all of the information because there are so many layers. And it's not a skill check thing
Sure.
as much as it is, do I want to go in, not find anything, not be prepared, and then die and lose what I did get? I'm not building anything up. I'm dying too fast. I'm not in the engagements to where I can learn. I think that's the thing is I can learn what's going on in the menus, but I don't really have an incentive to go through all of the menus.
Right.
Because I'm not coming out having learned anything in the game. So there's just not as much incentive because I am not progressing to a point where I want to continue to progress. So I don't know how much of me going back in is slightly, to be completely honest, slightly out of obligation. And how much of it is because I think that the more I play it, the more experience I get, the more I learn it, I'd enjoy it. I love multiplayer games. I became a gamer because of Call of Duty. A console gamer because of Call of Duty.
Right. So you're no stranger to PvP. It's not necessarily that.
Yeah. MP is like my thing. But I like a lot of it. A lot. It's just I don't like the menu system. And this is someone who plays the menu gameplay in Destiny all the time.
Yeah.
I will spend massive amounts of time in a dungeon encounter while it is going in my menu doing a loadout. I'm not a stranger and I'm not unskilled when it comes to actually being in a menu.
Sure.
But there is just so much going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you have a
Would you
really
compare
valid
that
point
to
though,
Destiny,
Sammy.
though?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was only gonna ask, like, how would you compare that to Destiny since you're used to like all the stuff in Destiny, but you already have that foundational understanding of how things work and where to go for things. I just wonder because I feel like Sammy's POV is probably more accurate to what players might feel than like Dan and Tiddly and I's as far as
Yeah,
like
yeah. That's fair.
how
And I
much
don't
time do
play
I
a-
want to invest in learning these systems to know where to go, what to keep, what to bypass.
Yeah, because I think that's what I was trying to say too. Is that like a new player experience and that frustration is an incredibly valid argument. about this server slam, because you have a bunch of people coming in trying it for free. Is the game going to stick? And I think that if you come in as a new person and you have frustration, whether it's about the menus, whether it's about, for me in the alpha, it was the stamina, like whether it's about the ammo economy or the level of PvP interaction or the bots being too strong, like whatever frustration you're having with the game, like that you're not strong enough at base, like that, if it's going to mean that you're too frustrated to pick the game up again, that's a problem for release, because like it needs to it needs to hook you in some kind of way, right? So that's an incredibly valid point, Sammy. Like I think that's really going to be kind of the litmus test of launch. Is there something? Are people feeling good enough about the game at base, like when they're first going in as a new player, to have it be sticky, to want to buy it, to want to play it? Like, is it going to hook you enough to put the hours and to invest the hours in that are going to get you to the place where you're comfortable with the menus, where you're feeling like you're getting shields everyone, where you're feeling like you know where to access the armory, like, you know, like, are you gonna get to that place? Are you gonna, you know, or are you gonna pick it up and say, this is really frustrating? And because I don't know. I mean, I sense that part of it is the genre, right? Because I know extraction shooters aren't for everybody. Like that's obviously something that we've talked about for a long time. Is the genre a hurdle that they're going to have a hard time getting over? But I don't think it's entirely that. I think it's also like how the game feels at base, you know,
like that. Yeah. Because what I'm used to for multiplayer is you choose a loadout, you go in, you have this loadout. You may not have everything you need for it, but then you lose it at the end, as in, like, you don't really gain anything. You gain XP to unlock things. But I've gone through a ton of Call of Duty where all I do is choose the same exact loadout, and it doesn't matter. I go in and at least I have something. It's not that I lost anything that would upset me. It's not like, oh, I'm gaining things.
Yeah.
So it's not the, like, I like the idea of an extraction shooter. I don't like the idea of going in with like nothing.
Right.
And it got to the point where it's like, well, I'm going to lose it all, so I'm just going to ready up. I didn't have any, like, yes, I didn't have enough ammo, but the thing is I didn't come out of previous, like, I kept running out of ammo.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So why would I put it? And granted, there were the packs, but then it was like, why would I do a pack? I'm gonna die right away. It was defeating. And to be honest, I love Bungie. I love the gameplay. I love the gameplay in Marathon. The guns feel amazing. The movement feels really, really good. All of that, like, I like the art style a lot. I really like the environment. The sound is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sound is like,
sound design is great.
the lighting is great.
The weather is really, really cool. And how it affects your stamina, all of that's really well done.
Yep.
Bungie did a lot. Like, you can tell they put their heart into it, and it's a Bungie game. So I have a really, really hard time saying this, but if it were not a Bungie game, I would not pick it up again.
Yeah.
I have a very hard time saying it, that I would not play it again.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of players who are playing or tried it just because of it being a Bungie game too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's a Bungie game and because it's free. So like when it's not free, I mean, I understand that $39.99 is not like comparatively to other games is not a very high point of entry, but is that going to be a barrier? I know that's a question that we've kind of discussed before. Is that going to be a barrier to people hopping on? That being said, I also do think that the server slam was incredibly successful. Like the directory was saturated. Like everyone was playing it. All my friends were playing it. All my friends were streaming it. There's a lot of interest in the game. So
they also seemed to like they also seemed to be reacting to feedback, to constructive feedback.
Yeah.
Completely.
In a very quick way, which is not the Bungie way in a lot of ways. But they were like fixing, like when things were brought up in Perimeter, like, hey, I'm not getting engagements in Perimeter as much. When that was voiced, they were like, hey, we're
changing
going
it
to
immediately.
change that. Yeah. And like,
yeah, you can tell they're expending like resources on this. Like they
Yeah.
really want it to be successful. Like they're listening to player input. I mean, I guess my hope is that they get it to a place. I mean, I guess it's coming out on Thursday, but they get it to a place quickly where it's something that people are going to
Yeah.
like, instead of like kind of like the last Destiny DLC where it's like they got it there,
Yeah.
but by the time they got it there, everyone was already gone, you know.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm with Sammy. Like Bungie is amazing. Like they make wonderful shooters. They feel great to play. I think that, you know, the question is, what's the hook? What's going to get people to continue to play it? Because I'm enjoying playing it. I really am. But it's not a game that I would pick up solo. Like, I feel like it's a game that I would play with my friends. And in order for that kind of game for me to be successful, it means that my friends have to continue to want to play it. So what is that hook? Like, what's going to get people to
The
keep
friend
wanting to pick it up?
game.
Yeah.
The friend game but for real, like I feel like Destiny's different for me. Like that's a shooter that I can pick up and play solo and feel like I'm accomplishing things. But I'm, as somebody who's not super strong at PvP, I'm not gonna go in solo as Rook and be terrified out of my skull, like running into people. Like I'm not really interested in that. Like, and you're like, I mean, we got 3 wins in Fortnite in a row today. Like, I
Right.
love playing shooters, but I like playing them with friends. Like, this is not a game I'm going to pick up on
Right.
myself, at least personally. I know that there are people who love that type of experience. Just that's my personal take on it. You know,
Yeah.
I want friends to play it with. So
I'm not going to hop
need-
in Rook in my off hours.
No.
Probably not. No, I'm probably going to play this with friends on stream. Like,
Yeah, I played with friends, and
Yeah.
I had a blast playing it. But looking back, there were definitely frustrations. I'm on the fence, and it's been a couple days, and I'm still on the fence about it.
Yeah.
And this is one of those things like in Destiny where, granted, I use bows a lot. I'm not very good at other weapons. And the thing is that I don't like dying a lot or being bad. But
Right.
in order to get better, I have to play with the other weapons so that I can get good at them. And it's a double-edged sword. It's just, am I going to have fun getting to that point in Marathon where I'm going to learn enough fast enough to where I'm not going to lose patience?
Yeah. Yeah. There's I think so. I don't think that this game is going to be for every Destiny player. Like, although
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Although the
I don't
guns
think that's
feel
what
good.
they're aiming for. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
They're
so
not.
either.
They're not aiming for the Destiny community.
No.
No.
They're splitting the pot in a big way, and
Right.
they're doing that
Yeah.
intentionally.
It's an intentional gamble. Like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
want to, they're diversifying their portfolio, one might say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Looking at the directory, I know we talked about the directory. Like I went and looked through the directory, and on launch day, obviously the big one, the big Destiny streamer that was like at the top was Astacross.
Right.
But as you go down the list, there was a lot of people I had never heard of before.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a good thing because that means that if most of the Destiny community doesn't decide to stream it, then that directory will have a chance of still being somewhat healthy.
Right. It's attracting people
Because
from other directories.
It's
not just
attracting
Destiny.
new creators that will
Yeah.
hopefully build new communities and build their own marathon-based community.
Yeah.
Which is good because I don't think a good thing, and Bungie doesn't want this to be a good thing. I don't think they want, the directory to be big when Marathon's popping, Destiny to be big when Destiny's popping. Because, like, obviously, the Marathon directory was anywhere from 350 to, I think it's kind of averaged out to about 80 or 90K. If you care about day one plus the last 72 hours. So I would say about 80K has been the average throughout the entire weekend up to now.
Pretty healthy.
As far as
Yeah.
viewership,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Yep.
pretty good
There's
on
a lot
Twitch.
of interest. Yeah.
Now
There's
you could
also
also make the
incentive.
argument.
There's a lot of
Yes,
incentive to watch.
There's a lot of incentive
Mhm.
financially, and there's a lot of incentive to watch. So the creators and the viewers have a very high incentive.
Sure. And I think they did a great job, honestly, at that, at the
I think
PR.
they've succeeded. I
Yeah, I
felt
think they
that they had
succeeded.
to hit 100K. I was telling my community, I was like, if they get 100K in the first 24 hours, as far as Twitch directory, and about 110K on the Steam charts, which is another different story because
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden every gamer is validating their stance around Steam charts, which is a totally different subject that I don't want to rant about. But I felt like that would be pretty solid. Like if they could hit that number at least once, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And they hit, I think, 350K on just Twitch, which was huge.
Huge.
Massive.
Yeah.
That's arguably bigger than some Destiny 2 day one raids.
Yeah.
Which is insane. And on Steam, they hit 150.
Yeah.
Comparing it to Ark is just a dumb thing. Like we need to stop. They're not the same game.
Somebody
So
that I was
true.
watching said that like Ark is the Fortnite and this is the Apex.
Ark is Fortnite, and
Yeah.
this is something like Apex or even PUBG or H1Z1.
Yeah.
And I think that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like I don't think this is going to be nearly as big, but I don't think it's going to be Concord. Like
Right.
I've played enough to feel like, okay, I could see Marathon having its own stable community.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on whatever updates they put out in the future, can see some big days, but at least stable. PvP, unfortunately, whether we like it or not, if you have PvP in a game, there's a very big chance that you can have a stable community around it.
Yeah.
For
Because
sure.
PvP is just that kind of, it's just
It's an
tangible
easy
for me
sustain.
to watch. Yes.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's easy to
Mhm.
sustain. Like it's not like dropping Destiny story missions and raids
Yes.
every 3 months. Like, you know, if they have a good base game, all they have to do is add new maps, add new weapons, balance the meta. So it's more of like a maintenance thing versus
Mhm.
like I'm creating like all of this content. So it's an
Right.
easier game to deliver live service, I would say. I mean, not knowing what the devs do, but like
Yeah.
you know, like let
Yeah.
me just
No
assume, but you
Yeah.
know, but like just thinking about content creation, I think that Dan's right. I think that it's a lot more sustainable if people enjoy the PvP. You know,
Mhm.
like you're gonna get
Yep.
like kind of like a stable PvP community.
Some of that interest was probably also to see what state the game was going to be in too.
Sure,
Because
yeah.
like the thing for the last year that Marathon has had a lot of things hanging over its head. It has whether this is going to be a success because people want because Sony is requiring it to be a success almost. Not almost. Sony is requiring it to be a success. And they're really pushing for that. You also have the scandal that dropped last year with the art. Now that's been rectified. They paid the person whose art was stolen. And that is like a beneficial and positive story that came out of that. But I think a lot of people are like an extraction shooter in 2026, like a new one, when it almost seems like maybe the boat has passed
It's not
even
too
after
late.
Arkwriter
Easy,
came.
though.
I don't know that it's
It's
like
not too late.
oversaturated. And I also I've
Uh,
heard some whispers that Arc Raiders is like some of the like peaceful lobbies have not really gone over so well with the community. Like there
They
might
don't
be
like that. No.
there's people are having some small quibbles like you know, some of the juice that it had it outside, like does it have that sustain? Like I mean, I think competition is good. Like I think competition is good for the genre. I think Tarkov was king for so long. I mean, obviously Hunt, I'm not super familiar with it. But like I think that one of the reasons that Bungie picked an extraction shooter is because it's not a super saturated genre. There's space in it. Like I know there's been smaller ones that have come out also, but like in terms of like AAA big games, you know, I think there still is space. And I also think that having played Arc Raiders, maybe not as much as like Dan or some other people, but like I definitely they feel like different games. I mean, first of all, like first person versus third person is a very, very different feel. Like the art style, like the environment, the lore, it feels super, super different. Like, and personally, like just as a preference, I like kind of like the sci-fi better than kind of like the Call of Duty gray and black and brown and everything is kind of realistic. And I'm like, no, I mean, like, I deal with the world and it's realistic and I hate it. Like give me some fantasy, give me something like magical, give me something like, you know, weird, you know. Like, I love that. Like,
that's got,
you know,
Marathon's got you covered when it comes to weird. I guess people are complaining about the amount of moths that are showing up on their screens.
They haven't played the original Marathon trilogy if that's what they're worried about.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played through the original Marathon stuff leading up to it. Yeah. And it has made my brain appreciate all of that I've seen in Marathon this weekend. Just because I understand so much that's happening now and why all this Stanley Kubrick-esque stuff is happening on my screen.
Yeah, so weird. Like the area in Dire Marsh where there's that like anomaly and then there's like people with being lifted out of their boots with like, I don't know. I'm like, I have questions. Bife, hello, can we get on this? Like, I have some questions. What's going on here? This is really weird. What's going on?
But yeah, I think one of the things we talked about this last week. We were kind of talking about like whether it was going to be this weekend or Thursday being like a make or break kind of situation for this game. Like,
I said launch day, and y'all said y'all changed my mind on it, which I still I'm glad I did.
Yeah,
because I personally was like, I think the first day we have to buy the game is going to be the most important one. But everyone else said the first day of service was going to be more important because it was going to be the very first time everyone had their hands on it, basically. And you know, I converted to that side. I'm glad I stuck with that side. I do think that was very important. I do think there'll probably be a second important day now that like, okay, let's see how the service term compares to the launch of only paid players.
The first month is going to be interesting.
What are the numbers going to be like once they have to fork over the $40?
What that conversion was.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if you look at all the numbers when it's free.
Yes.
I wonder how we got to talk about, like you said, the first month when it's just paid player. And, you know, once the honeymoon sponsorships, financial, like we're pumping a bunch of money in all the streamers, you know, to get our first weeks out really good, how that's going to look.
Right. When you know, are people going to pick it up? Are they going to have Sammy's experience and be like, maybe this isn't for me? You know, because I mean, if people like Sammy drop off, people like me will probably drop off too. You know. So.
And honestly, if you want this game to succeed, we really need those players.
Yeah.
Because the last thing you want maybe they want it, but the last thing you want Marathon to end up being is nothing but high skill, like sweaty.
I mean,
maybe lobbies all the time.
I mean, isn't that Tarkov though? Like, isn't that why people love Tarkov? Because I've definitely heard from some of my Tarkov friends that like Marathon is too easy, baby game. You know, like the same reason why people don't like Arc Raiders is like easy baby game. I want to play something really challenging. So I'm part of that.
I would say more of like you want to still have new players be interested.
Sure, it's the lifeblood of the game, but it kind of reminds me of some of the conversations we've had around trials.
Yeah.
You know, how when you have a trials pop that is like really hardcore players only, which apparently trials is atrocious for numbers this weekend. As a side note,
because they're all playing Marathon.
But like when you only have hardcore players in there. Is that going to be fun for hardcore players when they can't stomp lobbies? Like when they can't go in and stomp and they're just sweaty constantly? Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a Tarkov player, so I don't know. Maybe that is the like gold standard. Maybe you want like just hardcore constantly. I go in, I'm terrified for my life because everyone is just as good as me and I'm sweating my nuts off every time I go in. Like maybe that's the dream. I don't know. It's not my dream. It's not my dream.
It's not my dream either. I was hoping that they are looking to use the Fortnite comparison. I was hoping that they might be looking for some sort of middle ground between Arc Raiders and Tarkov.
Sure.
More accessible, higher player base, but still somewhat very skilled.
Right. Because, I mean, the truth of the matter is that when you're talking about high skilled players, there's not a lot of them honestly. So if you're talking about wanting a game to be successful, if you're only appealing to the top 5% of people, then you're really limiting like the players who are going to buy in, play, access, and spend money on your game. So I feel like the in the middle is the sweet spot. Like I kind of agree with that sentiment, just in terms of like financial like solubility for them. So
I know I had some friends who were like really on the fence about this. But I think some of them only played the April update, or not the April update, the April alpha last year.
Yeah.
They were like really on the fence, and especially like after everything with Destiny as of late, like they were like, look, I love Bungie. I want them to succeed, and I want this to do well, but I don't know if I'm going to pre-order this. Like this weekend has changed their mind. And they're like, yeah, I think I'm gonna pre-order this.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, could be.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's the case. Like, I think that we all want, I don't want to speak for everybody. I think that most of us want like this game to be successful. We want Bungie to be successful. I think this is success of this game like has an impact on Destiny also, which we care about. So,
I want this game to be incredibly successful.
Yeah.
They need it. They absolutely need it for Destiny. Destiny will not be successful if Marathon is not successful. And that fucking terrifies me.
I don't know how to feel about that, because like, how successful does Marathon need to be?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
For them to not disown Destiny. Like, does it need
I don't
to be
want
arousing?
Sony to take it away.
Like, do people want Marathon to be such a success that Marathon can basically hold the studio by itself? Or do they want it to be a good enough success that we can live with Marathon, but we can't live with Marathon alone? So we got to make sure we still focus on somewhat Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Because like,
I
still feel like one of three things will happen. Marathon takes off, and it's so good that it's like, okay, well, this could be our new golden goose. We should focus everything on this.
Mm.
And that's it. We see the vision. This is Marathon's time.
Yeah.
We can't really focus on Destiny anymore because we really want to put all hands on Marathon. Or Marathon's doing pretty well, but imagine if we had Marathon doing well and Destiny. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Or,
I don't know.
Obviously, the worst thing is Marathon's not doing well. Well, Destiny can either be our focus, but we've kind of already put all hands off of Destiny for that. Can't waste another year and a half on nothing. Well, let's just shut it down. That's like one of the three roads I see happening. And
I think much of that is up to Sony too at this point, right? Like, and what does Sony expect out of this? Now that they bought the studio, what are the bars? Because I think look at all the layoffs too in sort of like these in these dev communities, whether the game is successful, whether it's not successful, if it's like game of the year, they don't care. They just end up firing everybody. Like, like what a weird time to be in game development, right? Like
that is so true. You could win game of the year and a week later be laid off. That's
Square Enix will like claim something as an absolute failure when it breaks records for
well, and I guess my
sell.
point is how much of that is connected to the unrealistic expectations that like the studios or like the execs are putting on these releases, right? Like
super unrealistic.
Right. So it's not even quantifying like this is a successful game, this is not a successful game. They're just like they're putting the bar so high that like even if like the public is like, oh, this game is so successful, or it like wins awards or whatever, they're like, well, it didn't meet this bar that we set, even if it did really well, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's
what they said about Final Shape, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
We thought Final Shape did really well, and they were like, it didn't meet our expectations. That's all.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like who is setting these expectations and what are they? It's I think and it's kind of like when you're playing D&D, and we were talking about this last night, and you don't know like the health of the dragon you're fighting, right? And you're like, I gotta fight this dragon. I know it's like this big dragon. It's probably pretty beefy. Maybe like it's got 6 million health points. I don't know. I'm gonna throw my fireball at it, like, and hope it doesn't have fire resistance, right? Like, you know, it's the same kind of thing. It's like we can like kind of speculate on what's going on, but we don't know the health of the dragon. We don't know what those expectations are for Marathon coming out, and we don't know, even though we can say on this podcast like 350K Twitch, that's like huge, that's insane. Like maybe they have other different types of, you know, maybe the dragon is healthier than we thought. Like who knows? Who knows what their expectations are? But I think that it is a real concern, because I think you're right, Dan. I think it does. And Sammy, I think that it has an impact on the future of Destiny also, which is why it's relevant to talk about it on this podcast for sure.
On Bungie more so,
I don't think that Marathon can carry Bungie by any means. I don't think it will ever be able to, because it is an extraction shooter.
Not by itself.
Not by itself,
Like this
I don't think Marathon's going to cannibalize it.
No.
But I think Bungie still needs Destiny. My worry would be Marathon doesn't do well and Sony absorbs Bungie.
Yeah.
Is my fear.
We just saw that with Blue Point. Right? They just laid off the entire team. That gave them the Dark Souls remake. What was one of the other remakes that they did recently?
Shadow Colossus.
Yeah, Shadow Colossus.
I love that game.
They did those remakes.
The interesting thing is that
years.
I wonder if you probably read it though, which is sad for me. They came out with news that they wanted From Software to make a remake of Bloodborne, and From Software was like, "We don't want to," and they're like, "How dare you not want to make another one?"
Yeah.
No, wait.
He was like, "No, I don't want to remake this game."
Well, the guy, the person who is the main designer said no, because they would rather do that in house than
they'd rather do it in house. Yep.
And so that decision, like, probably was like the last nail in the coffin, because like Gray Fox said, that like Sony stuck them with a God of War live service game.
Mm-hmm.
And they got close.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see, man. I'm hoping that Bungie is prestigious enough of a name that they wouldn't just shutter it completely and absorb them outright.
I think they'll always keep the Bungie name though. That's like, I think our worry is not that we'll lose the name Bungie.
Yeah.
I think we'll lose the agency of Bungie, where they have the ability to like create their own stuff. Because what we don't want to see is some remake, and we just have Bungie just being that outsourcing studio. That's what I'm saying.
No, we want the Bungie that sold Halo, and everyone's like, "What are you doing? You're selling this super incredibly successful franchise," and then they made this brand new game that's totally different. They're like, That's the Bungie we love. We love the risk takers. Like we love like the Bungie that like puts it all out on the line and is like, we make excellent shooters, you know, no matter what, you know. Like we don't want them to be kind of constrained, or you know, but that's what I want, at least. I don't know.
I
wonder what would have happened without the. Go ahead.
I want Marathon to do so well that the Destiny side of Bungie finally has enough room to find their heart again.
Find their like passion for Destiny as well.
Yeah. And their creativity. Find their soul again.
I agree. I think that like I want Marathon to be so successful, Sammy, that it takes the pressure off Bungie, because I think that Bungie does best when they're taking risks. Like all of the good stuff that they put out.
They took so many risks.
So many risks. Like Trials was an experiment at the outset, right? And it turned into the most successful PvP mode in the entire game. Like I want risk taking Bungie, and I feel like some of the issues have been like playing it safe. And I don't want
Yeah.
them to feel like they have to play it safe in order to maintain a player base. I want them to get out there and try new things and feel like they have space to do that, because I feel like they don't feel that right now.
Yeah.
Like, you know, right now they're like there's so much pressure on them, and part of it is like, you know, Paul Tassi writing an article about marathon not being EOA, right? It's like there's you know, they're like, oh, marathon's not going to be successful. More pressure on Destiny to be successful, and that's definitely part of why I want marathon to be successful. But I would have to say that, like, so far so good.
Yeah.
You know, so far so good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, I think that pretty much like ends like our base conversation about that. But let's see what some people had some questions. So let's go ahead and add those in there. Before we move on, there wasn't really anything in the TWID.
Yeah. TWID summary.
No, there was one thing in the TWID.
There was one thing in the TWID. You know what? I'm a liar. I'm a liar. Our friend Samikat won movie of the week.
I did. Most people didn't read far enough to see that.
I feel really bad because like this should have been a very monumentous occasion.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations, Sammy.
Sammy finally did it.
Master Ghosts.
Well, we talked about it last week, but Sammy did it, and it was in the TWID.
Yeah.
Amazing. Congrats.
Congratulations,
I finally
buddy.
completed it. I won't tell you the stats.
Well, how do you feel after completing it?
I'll be totally real with you. I
Yeah.
have the absolute worst post-achievement depression.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now you gotta find something else. Yeah.
You gotta find a new mountain to climb.
A new dragon to fight. Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty bad after Master Warlords, but I'm getting through it.
Hell yeah.
I'm getting through it. We'll see.
We're proud of you, buddy.
I still haven't gone through the tweet of my reaction clip, and I know that's rude, but then that means that I'm like accepting it, and I think I'm
You're not ready to move on.
Shock. I'm still in shock.
Yeah.
If I don't look at it, then it doesn't exist.
Yeah, if I don't see the like 90 comments of people saying congrats, then it didn't happen. I'm just something like that when you've spent I spent 497 hours in Master Ghosts of the Deep doing it. Spending that much time and then now it's just over is like...
It's the dog who caught the car.
Yeah.
You've been chasing the car for so long.
Yeah.
And then you caught the car. And now
what do I do now?
Yeah, what do you do next?
What do I do?
Yeah.
So I don't think the shock is worn off yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gray Fox is asking any tips for those who want to deal with it?
Deal with
that challenge.
Don't.
There's number one.
That's number one. Number two, expect that it is going to take a very, very, very long time. And that is not because of your skill. That is not at all because of your skill. Because you will grow, you will mess up, you will fuck up so bad, so many times. Give yourself grace. That is just part of the learning process. Find what does work for you and adapt it. But don't become attached to it. There were builds where I was like, this is really working, but I'm missing one or two steps. I keep messing up. I was so attached to those builds. And it was really hard to be like, okay, I was wrong. I need to change this up. That took a lot of convincing myself that this build that was working isn't going to work anymore because the seasons changed or I developed other skills. I was always really, really bad at hip firing until the last year or so. I ended up practicing more and more. So then trying to be like, oh, I really do not want to have a bow that I'm going to use to hip fire. Starting to use that, like I used my no turning back actually during it, the original one, your very first bow you get. Well, used to. I used that just to get enemies to finisher. Because it's so good at hip firing. And I was so freaking stubborn. And I was so stubborn to use a crossbow in it. I used that during the final encounter. And having to come to terms with that was really, really hard. So give yourself grace. Know that you are going to mess up again and again and again and again. And if you end up getting 497 hours into it, you probably need some psychological help, I'll tell you right now. But every single one of those hours is something that you will end up learning something. But number one, and then I'll end on this, is that it is the biggest mental challenge I have ever faced in a video game. I got to the point where I had a movie playing on my iPad while I was doing Ekthar, the first boss. I was watching a movie and we were listening to the audio of the movie because I was so in my head and the emotions that go through. And it is psychological more than anything. It is incredibly, incredibly psychological, incredibly deep. So just note that you are going on a journey, and I am not even joking when I say that. You are going on a mental and emotional journey.
Hell yeah.
So sorry, that was a lot.
No, well
I apologize.
said. Congratulations, buddy. I didn't mean to diminish your accomplishment by saying nothing happened in the twin. I was just like,
I'll be real with you. I didn't expect it. I didn't know it was Thursday until someone tagged me on Twitter saying congrats. I'm like, what? Because I never tagged myself, or I never tagged movie of the week.
You just uploaded it.
So I just uploaded it and let it go. I was in such denial. Such shock. I wasn't expecting movie of the week because I hadn't finished it yet, you know?
Yeah. You're not done. All right. Well, we're looking forward to the next challenge that you take.
Solo Explicator.
Solo Explicator. Good luck, buddy.
Solo planets with all bows.
Oh,
and no sword.
So audience questions. Gray Fox asks, with the server slam, do we feel the issues we have now are going to be non-issues once the community figures out the meta, shell builds, and faction setups? That's their first question.
I think new issues will come up.
Yeah.
Once we get the full game and once we start really unlocking some of the trees, and maybe there's just some that haven't spread like wildfire yet.
Yeah.
You never know. Maybe something with Thief.
Oh, yeah.
I do think something will happen that like people will exploit. Right now, people are exploiting the bunny hop that you can do for infinite stamina and for power jumping. I think that will be something that people will use to manipulate like certain gunfights and stuff. But I don't think it'll be something that we expect. Bungie games, it never is.
Yeah. I do feel like it's been pretty secure. Like I don't feel like I've ever died to bullshit.
No, the servers themselves, that is super high tech weight, and the rollback netcode that they added has been so noticeable. Like it's the gunplay already we talked about was really good, but it's so good because the connection rates are so high quality. And I've really enjoyed that.
All right. Gray Fox's next question. What is one thing from Destiny that you would want in Marathon, and a Marathon thing that you would want in Destiny? Sammy, why don't you start this one?
I could not even answer that. To be real.
I have one Destiny thing that I want in Marathon, and it is emotes.
Yes. That'd
Why
be cool.
can't I
Yeah.
emote? I want to be able to emote. I want to kill a guy and then I want to dance on him. Let me dance when I win, please.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised we can't emote in
We
Marathon.
can't
to be
emote. There's
honest.
no emotes. Come on, add emotes. What are we doing?
Yep.
Epic Dan, what about you? Any thoughts?
I would say what I just said. The rollback netcode and the dedicated servers. If we had those in Destiny, man.
Yeah.
So nice.
That's probably a Destiny 3 thing at the earliest, right?
Yeah.
At the earliest.
At the earliest.
Copium. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, so like they have this with like the shell customization, but shaders would be cool. I think shaders would be neat.
The
Yeah.
shaders would be cool.
Weapon charms in Destiny could have been neat.
Oh yeah.
A good idea
maybe.
for like a kind of like yeah. So some of the cosmetic crossovers.
Oh, and the inspect. If we had inspect,
yeah.
it'd be really nice. Like you can press a button, you inspect your weapon.
Oh yeah.
After match reports,
Yeah.
I wanted to actually see how well I did and who killed me.
Damage and yeah.
Jagmaster does say emotes are a double-edged sword, and that we've seen that with, with trials.
Oh, for sure. And
Yeah.
I get also it's like for a first person shooter that part of
Yeah.
the difference between a first and a third is like 3 peeking.
Yeah.
And emotes certainly like
I
that
guess-
conversation in Destiny about like
Well, they already solved the
People-
whole 3 peeking with emotes. They would have hopefully been able to,
be able to apply that
launch
solution
them.
also. But
I guess
still
sprays
want-
would be all right.
I
Sprays would
understand.
be
I
cool.
understand the double-edged sword, but please allow
Sprays,
me to
yeah.
gloat.
They kind of have that in Marathon, but they're unlockable.
Okay.
Mhm.
So maybe.
Gotcha. Triple V Arcane asks, I want Sammy to elaborate on her stance of being disengaged with Exfil's shooters. What would Bungie have to do to get you engaged with it?
Give me a chance to have more ammo and find more gear closer to spawn. Have it so that I actually have something. I don't care whether or not I lose it,
Yeah.
but
Are you talking like a butt pocket? Like a prison wallet?
or like start with a loadout.
Are we gonna go a whole stream without talking about the prison wallet, Dan? I know.
There's
I'm
no
sorry.
way. There's no way for us not to
It's
talk
an
about the prison
extraction
wallet.
shooter conversation, Dan. We had
Yep.
to bring up the prison wallet. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Sammy.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Sammy.
That's okay.
Yep.
I think actually being able to like choose almost like a set loadout type thing rather than I mean there's times where I don't even have a weapon because I lost it. Like
Well, when you were going in, were you using the sponsor kits?
a couple times, but then I was told that I can't pick up ammo and stuff. And then I
Well,
was like, well,
yeah,
I'm
that's
out
not
of
true. Yeah.
ammo.
Yeah.
Well, you can't add ammo when you go in, but once you go in, you can.
Yeah, you can pick up more
Obviously,
ammo
find
and
stuff.
stuff.
You can find it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
I just
maybe
didn't
go ahead.
have enough to be able
Mhm.
to do anything
There's
to
Right.
have fun and want to do it again.
There's another thing though too, is that like so if you take the sponsored kit, your grenade is a ammo cache, like right out the
Yep.
gate.
Yes,
Ammo
yeah,
cache
that's
is
true.
something
You
people
can
should
drop
be
the
using
ammo
more.
cache
You
immediately.
can drop the ammo
Yeah.
cache
See, the
immediately to get
thing
more
is-
ammo.
Is
Yep.
that I would do that and then
Uh-huh.
I would use it all
Fair enough.
because I'm bad. So it takes more bullets to not be bad.
Hmm.
And like the shell health goes away so fast. I
Yeah.
take so much damage, but then even the PvE enemies are so tanky.
They're beefy.
That-
Yeah.
I'm using all my ammo.
Mhm.
I could kill myself faster. I failed the tutorial
So did I. I think a lot of
I
people
think
did.
most people failed the
I
tutorial.
failed the
knocked, but I
tutorial.
left.
I failed too. I got
I
knocked
want
as
to
well.
live. Here's the thing. I want to play a game where I can live long enough to learn the game
Yeah.
so that I can leave the beginning area. It should not be so hard to where I fail the tutorial. Nobody should ever fail a tutorial, and the amount of people that have failed this tutorial is funny.
Have you
And
played
it
Night
should
Raid?
not be funny. It should be concerning.
I almost, Sammy, I almost think that was intentional. I think it was kind of like Bungie being like, you thought this was going to be an easy
Pretty sure we
game,
have to
didn't
teach
you?
you about that part.
Let me
Like,
show you how difficult. You thought Tarkov was hard. Watch you die in the tutorial.
There are things where people died in the tutorial and they said, if this is what it's going to be, I'm not going to play. I know multiple people that said, even after the tutorial, I do not want to continue and learn because it's not worth my time.
It's so interesting because I don't know. Like I know I'm being silly, but I actually do think they did that intentionally. They wanted.
I think that was a terrible decision if they did it.
Yeah,
intentionally.
That's the Dark
everything
Souls
spawn.
strat where you get overrun in your tutorial.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Like Dark Souls different because you know what you're going into with Dark Souls. But when you're going into one of these games, it is a genre that is not common to the majority of players. The majority of the players who are going to play it are not used to it. If they are doing this to weed out people so that people know what to expect, they need to change expectations because they will not have a large enough community to hold their own in this genre. They are going to scare away a lot of people. So saying, hey, this is what you should expect. No, I think that there should be somewhat of an easier mode so people can actually learn so that they want to play it because there's no basis Bungie has. All there is Bungie's reputation, which is questionable right now, let's be honest, and Bungie's gunplay. Everything else is pretty much new to the majority of people. If they're going to go into the game and be like, well, this game is supposed to be really hard. I'm not going to pass the skill check initially. Why am I even going to try? So I'm not saying the game has to be easy, but at least give people the chance to feel like it is something that they can play, they can accomplish something in, they can learn. Give them a sandbox to play in. They might be a toddler. They might be whatever Marathon's kindergarten is. But and then let them graduate to the higher ones. Make playlists where you have to be a certain level to get into. Let them be sweaty. Let it be hard. Let it be Tarkov. But it is not Tarkov. Bungie will never have that reputation, at least in the next year or two, when they are trying to build a community and build an audience. And in order for this game to be successful, they have to have a community. And if they are going to alienate a majority of people who could be part of their community, they are not going to have the reaction that they want and that they and Destiny needs. Sorry, I'm really heated about this. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah.
My bad. Apologize.
Don't
apologize for making a good point. You're good.
It's a fair and valid opinion. All right. Yeah. Last thing here, Mr. Keelan is asking, what games are you playing besides Marathon or Destiny 2? Also, any triumphs you're chasing during Destiny 2's downtime? I'm also going to say this.
Ooh.
What games are you looking forward to?
Ooh.
I think will be another
Crimson
thing
Desert.
there. Crimson Desert.
Oh.
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
But
Master
that's
PI
next
higher.
year.
That's gonna be good.
Oh yeah, Mouse
Wolverine.
PI. Dude, I forgot about
Wolverine.
Mouse PI, and that comes out in 2 weeks.
Oh, it comes out in April.
No, I think it comes out.
Pokopia is coming out on the
Unless they
5th,
moved it up.
but I'm
Last
afraid
I
to
saw,
play that.
April 19th, 12th.
Okay, so 6 days ago it was delayed to the 16th. Okay. Yeah, no, you're right. Never mind. Sorry. It's like, oh. So I have a whole list.
You're like, let me bring out my spreadsheet.
I have so I've been working on a Notion space. So I have more data at my fingertips for things. And I literally have a table that is like all the games that I'm interested in over the next year. And I think like Control Resonance on there. Fable. I'm interested in playing Fable.
Same.
Kina Scars
Hopefully we
of
still get Fable.
that's
Hopefully.
yeah, that's true. Who knows? Kina Scars of Cosmora looks pretty cool. That was announced. The Marvel's Wolverine on September 16th. That looks pretty cool. Saros looks sick. Did any of you guys
I'm on the
play?
fence with that. Like,
Yeah,
kind of, it looks cool, but I'm like,
I'm a sucker for Housemark, dude.
that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, that it's like it's gonna be a bullet hell masterpiece. I think. Warhammer 40K's Bolt Gun 2 is coming out this year too, and if you haven't played the first one, you definitely should. Let's see. What all are you guys doing in the downtime from Destiny 2? Is there like, are you going for anything in there? Like solo challenge, other solo challenges?
Not solo, but I've been doing well, I did my first master trio, so that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Congrats!
Fun.
Thanks. We did
That's
the easy
big.
one. So we did a run. Which was like free. I think we first tried most things except for maybe the boss. So that was actually pretty easy. I think we're gonna try Trio Master Vow next. So that's kind of like what
Yeah,
I've been
Master Vow's
doing.
good.
Yeah, I actually love that raid. I feel like on the regular trio it was actually pretty chill just because I had a lot of experience with it, but it's been a minute since I've done it, and I know that the third encounter can be kind of hairy with ads on the master, because doing the challenge on that was like maybe the most difficult master challenge I've done. Right, that's
It's
ever
way easier
existed.
now, though. Like,
Is it? Yeah.
yeah, because like if you did it back when it was really hard, where we didn't have abilities that could stun
Yeah.
champs, and we had to like do like
Oof, weapons done.
it was like sidearm unstop, or
like
scout
limit.
unstop.
Yeah, that
Yeah, it was,
really
like,
limits your
super
options.
limited. That's what made it
Yeah.
really difficult. Now
Yeah.
it's really easy because
Yeah.
just chuck an ability, or
Mhm.
just the weapon, the lethality you have now. Just
Oh yeah, no, for
champions
sure. It's
just
definitely
dumb.
like the difficulty is tuned down. So I got to get on my raid report before it's harder again.
I know,
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
where I'm at with Solo Ron.
Yeah.
Solo Explicator is like, I couldn't do it anymore because they made the delta -10, and now I'm like,
Oh.
okay, I need to do it now that the delta's at power 4.
Yeah. Get it done.
Make sure you get your whirling ovation.
Yeah, absolutely.
That
I don't know what that is.
That's the Desert Perpetual rocket. It's one of that rocket makes Solo Explicator like not free, but like that's a part of the strat.
Oh,
At
I'm
least
doing
one of
all
them.
bows.
You're gonna do all bows?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Godspeed.
And no sword. I'm using prismatic grapple.
Fun.
It's gonna be awful.
You're I can tell you're excited about it.
Very
How
excited.
many hundreds of hours you're putting in it
Very
already.
Considering how
already
much you
put
gotta move
hundreds of
around
hours
without a
into it
sword, yeah.
originally. I don't.
Would you be willing to compromise with the movement? Like you use a sword just for the movement and then swap back to a bow. Or
I
does
already
it
have
have to be
command for
bow?
that from when. So I already tried Solo Explicator before Final Shape came out, and they made the changes. My best friends gave me a cookie cake that said congrats on 1,000 kills. So I got 1,000 kills and I got a cookie cake. Pretty exciting.
It's a great deal. I want a cookie cake for 1,000 kills.
Had never really run solar before, so I had to learn solar for it. Had to learn how to use a sword.
a friend of mine used to purchase cookie cakes with inappropriate messages on it.
Oh, amazing.
Fantastic.
And so one of them was one of the ones that I got in my 20s was "It wasn't yours."
Oh, I get it.
Nightmare.
Great.
Nightmare.
That's funny.
I'm no longer friends with that person.
Wow. Don't give Dan an inappropriate cookie cake.
That's not the reason. That's not the reason.
I'm writing it down now.
There's other reasons. There's other reasons. All right. All right. Those are all the questions fit to print. Folks, thank you so much for listening to the episode so far. We're going to tell you where you can find us this week and elsewhere on the internet, starting with our reporter from the cold, Tiddly. Tiddly.
Thanks, Dan. Well, I've been taking many breaks from the cold and vacations. However, I will be live all week, twitch.tv/Tiddly, Monday through Friday, 9:00 Central. We're going to be doing more Server Slam tomorrow. We're going to probably be hopping on some more rivals. And then I'm taking Thursday off and then hopping back into Marathon on Friday. So it should be a fun week.
Hell yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks.
Sammy, where can people find you on the internet, friend?
Well, let me just real quick say that I have remained in the cold.
I have suffered.
I have suffered, unlike Tiddly, who left
I'm in the
this
freezer
cold.
right now.
So just so everyone's aware, but you can find me at twitch.tv/Samikat. I'm going to be posting short form videos on TikTok and YouTube
Awesome.
starting sometime this week about Destiny. And then also I'm debating whether or not I'm going to play Pokopia. I think I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. That's an addiction level game. That's like it's like a Pokemon Animal Crossing.
Okay.
And I don't play Animal Crossing because it's like unhealthy. The amount it's like really bad, like psychological addiction issue. So I might play it. I don't know. It really just depends.
It looks cute.
It looks so cute. It's adorable.
It looks really cute.
I'm so excited about it.
You know, it could be worse, Sammy. It could be meth. I mean, maybe you should try it. Like,
well, don't try meth.
I feel like meth would be. I feel like meth would be easier because.
I feel like the official stance of this podcast is do not try meth. I think.
But what if, hear me out, try meth.
You guys do not want to see my spreadsheets.
It's full of meth.
My Animal Crossing spreadsheet.
Okay, I'm sorry. Stop. Epic Dan, where can people find you, buddy?
You can find me at twitch.tv/EpicDan22. We're going to be doing Marathon till the service close. And then we are going to play through Resident Evil Requiem. And then once the game launches, we'll be going pretty hard on the marathon. Find me on the YouTube and the TikTok and the Blue Sky and Instagram.
heck
Hell yeah.
What about you, Dan?
You can find me everywhere at Danfinity GG. You can find my website, danfinity.gg. This week, I'll be playing. I think I'm going to be helping Pope get their first clear of Desert Perpetual, and then going to. I think I'm going to hang out in some marathon as well.
Awesome.
It actually looks like a lot of fun. Coming up in a couple weeks on March 15th is my 4-year partner anniversary, so I'll be doing giveaways and stuff there.
Ooh,
That's
congrats.
a Sunday, so come through.
Cool.
Come hang out.
All right.
That's it for episode 129 of the Destiny Digest podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope you find what you're grinding for.